blind OS command injection with output redirection. Okay, so we have seen couple of blind injections already. So let's see what this is. We have output redirection. So here also we're not getting any output. So we send that output to a different file. The file that we will be storing should be writable. So this lab contains blind OS command injection vulnerability in the feedback function. The application executes a shell command containing user supplied details. Okay, till here it is same. The output from the command is not returned in the response, right? That's why we use blind command injection. However, you can use output redirection to capture the output from the command. There is a writable folder at this location. So I'm going to save this location right here. So this is a writable location. So I can directly give this location and write some data into it. So this is quite handy. The application serves the images for the product catalog from this location, which means the images of the website are stored here. You can redirect the output from the injected command to a file in this folder and then use the image loading URL to retrieve the contents of the file. To solve the lab, execute whoami command and retrieve its output. So let's open the lab. Okay, I'm going to copy this and open our browser, paste it and hit enter. We know that the vulnerability is in submit feedback function. So I'm going to submit some details and send it. So let's go to the burp suite and here is the submit feedback function. Let me send it to the repeater and this is where I'll do my testing. So I'm going to try some of the previous techniques, which is, for example, I can try command sequencing, something like this. I'm going to use this in all of those parameters. For example, I'll try here and check if there's any output. Nothing. So I'm going to remove it here and paste it here, test it, nothing. So I'm going to go here and paste it and send it. So this one is responding differently, which means our commands might be executing because this parameter seems to be having some problem. So as I discussed before, the script might be something like this. So if I interrupt something here, let's say semicolon ls semicolon, it should be expecting this thing as a part of the script, but I did not give that. The semicolon will end it here and nothing else will be executed. So this is causing some problem. So as we did in the previous lab, the command might look something like this. And here we supply our email and we end it with an or symbol, or in this case, I ended it with a semicolon. And here also a semicolon. And here I kept the command ls. And this part is actually part of this command, but I injected this part in between. So it is causing an error, right? So it was not able to save our email. So this is exactly what's happening. So I don't get any output, but I can execute commands. So to test this, I can use sleep command, something like sleep space 10 or 5. As you can see, I entered space character, but it turned into a plus symbol. This is because when I right click here, I selected this, which is URL encode as you type. So let me send this, and as you can see, our command is running and it is waiting for 5 seconds. So whatever a command I enter here will execute based on our lab. I should send the output of whoami command to this folder and open it. So how do I do that? So I can say whoami should be redirected to this folder and I'm going to give it a file name like something like file.txt. So enclose this with semicolons starting and ending. So this will be our new payload. So let's send it. As you can see, there are some spaces over here. So I have to encode this. I will select everything from this semicolon to this semicolon and press Ctrl U to encode this and send it. As you can see, our command must be executed. So to check it, they have told that we can directly go to any image and select this file.txt. So I'll go to browser, I'll go to home page, I'm going to select this image, right click, open image in new tab. Okay, I have this URL. So change this to file.txt because this is where our file is being stored. So hit enter and this is the output. So should I submit this? Okay, I don't have to submit this. Okay, fine. So the lab is done. As usual, I'm going to explain something else. You can continue watching to find out what it is. So this is our URL. But if I directly open something here, I don't know which directory this is. And I can also remove this and give a different name here. For example, file1.txt, and try to check where this file is storing. Okay, I'm going to copy this, and let me also change the command. So I'm going to use something else. Okay, something like pwd, some basic command, and check where this file is storing. So I'm doing two things here. First, I changed this command. So the pwd command will tell me where this is, and when I open any file over here, where that file is opening. So let's see. Open the browser, copy this, paste it over here, select that again, Control U, and send it. So I'm going to go to the browser and say file1.txt. Hit enter, and as you can see, this location is actually this location they already gave us. So I didn't have to put entire path, something like var/www/images. I didn't have to put this. Even if I don't keep this, it is storing in the same location. And one more thing, can I execute only command sequencing? Can I use something like OR condition? If I use OR condition, I have to say that the first part, which is this email part, because of the absence of this part, this script will not execute. It causes an error, which means it will become false. So whatever I keep next, in this case, it will be like this. So the next thing will run. So if this is true, this will not run. Since this is false, this will run. I can say false because it is causing an error here, right? So let me copy this and change the file name to something else and try to print ls this time. So let's copy this. So I'm going to paste it and copy everything again. Control U to encode this and send it. So let's go back here and say file2.txt, hit enter, and as you can see, these are the images and these are the text files. So since you have a place where you can enter commands, if you are in the same network as this server, you can directly get a reverse shell. How to get a reverse shell? You can say if config and copy the IP address and go to this rev shell generator, paste my IP address here and give a port number, and it will automatically generate this. So I can copy this and go to burp suite and paste it right here. I have to select everything again and press Ctrl U to encode this and go back to my terminal, and I have to listen over here. So the listener is also given here. So I can just copy this and right click, paste it here and listen and send this command to the server. So since I'm not in a part of a network, I will not get a reverse shell. I'm in a private network. This is somewhere in a public network. Either I have to be in the same network as this server, or I have to be in a public network to get a reverse shell. But I can see what services I can run secretly. Cat etc/cron tab. So this will give me periodically running processes or services that sometimes have root permissions. I'm going to paste it over here and Control U to encode this, and I have to redirect this to, let's say, file3.txt. So I can send this. I'll go back to browser and say file3. So this time I got this entire thing. Some of the commands have root privileges. I can also see what users exist over here. So to do that, I have to say cat/etc/passwd and file4.txt, send it, and now I can see what users and their privileges exist. So there is Peter here. As you can see, there is Carlos here. If I know something about this user, I can run as this user. Hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the description for payloads and other resources. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.